All right, what is up, everybody? Hope you all are staying safe out there. As always, welcome back to the Revan Trading channel. The markets have been so boring recently. I have to go down to a 4-hour time frame to get something even kind of interesting, and even that's still pretty boring. These are the Revan ribbons and the RMO ribbon momentum oscillator on the 4-hour time frame. Right before the video, I just went through and just tweaked some settings very slightly to get something working on the 4-hour time frame. You can definitely adjust it from here. Basically, all I did was turn the adaptive learning on, and these are the settings for that. Everything else is default as of right now. Maybe later I'll go through and optimize this a slight bit more. You can see it breaks through the bottom range of the bands a bit here and there, which is generally, I try to get them this, price to stay within, within the range of the bands for the most part. But in general, it does seem to catch highs and lows pretty well, and you can see when it bases off of that midline, it's it generally is more bullish. When it is below the midline, it's generally more bearish. So these are the things we're looking at. For example, here back in December 4th right here, it broke below the midline. It tested it a few times and then broke down. Then once it broke above it, it moved up and tested the upper side. It kind of did some swings right there. So again, this indicator is so incredibly strong for swing trading, especially if you're using generally these areas of interest in the lines there. So every once in a while you do get a fake out, and again, this is I need to go back and optimize this a bit more. I just saw one back here. That's actually pretty great. Oh yeah, back here. So back here in November, we did see a fake out. So this, you won't be able to get rid of all of the fake outs completely, but if I can optimize this to make the band stay above that and stay as resistance, that would be more optimal, obviously. But here recently, again, not a whole lot going on, pretty boring, but the momentum oscillator is positioned to the upside still, even after this big drop here. And we did see after it tested the dotted resistance line, it had the drop to the support or the midline. So again, all of these moves are pretty consistent. If you're trending above the dotted resistance line here, then it's looking for upside. But as long as you're below that, test into that area, I generally look at more to at least find some downside, even if it's short scalps. You can see here, tested into it, short scalp down, then it broke above it, so it's trending. So that, to me, that's saying, hey, no shorts for now. And this one kind of rode it for a little while until it finally broke down. So again, all of this info is super helpful on many different time frames. To have the momentum oscillator, yeah, nothing too big except for it is positioned to the upside, but barely. It's kind of getting pretty flat here. So if we don't see price action start to resume to the upside, we will see momentum change to the downside, and that bleeds into the 1-day time frame. Where is that at? It's right here. The 1-day time frame, where we are seeing it barely cross the upside. It just needs to close below 90,000 or 90,100 really for it to for the momentum to turn to the downside. We have had a lot of fake outs here around this midline. Actually, I say a lot. It's really been two. We had this one. It did show some more upside once it broke above it, but I was hoping it would hit the area of interest. It never really did. Then it broke below it and immediately kind of moved back above it. So this, on a daily time frame, obviously there's just a lot of indecision going on, or bulls and bears are really kind of fighting it out, or not even fighting it out at all right now. It feels like everyone's just bored with the market. So on the daily time frame, not much else besides we have a short-term target possibly down to 86.7K. But as long as we are above this midline, I'm looking at that as a bit less likely, even though it does say 70% chance. So we'll see in the next few days where it hits. But right now, daily time frame, not a whole lot to go off of. As well as the 10-day time frame, not much to follow up on here, besides we've been wicking into the dotted support, and just having lots of moves below that. So even on a 10-day time frame, if you want to take scalps, taking them off of areas, you can take very short-term scalps. Momentum is still to the downside here, but we do see a big change in where the price has to be as far as a pivot to change momentum to the upside. Would be a close above 106, and again, in a next day time frame, I do expect that to come down even more. Monthly time frame, we got basically nothing to update on here, besides it is now finding support off of the support band. So as long as we are above 89.5K, I'm looking for a bit of upside towards the end of this month, sometime between now and the end of the month. And yeah, that's all I wanted to look at for price action. Not a whole lot going on in the markets, but I do want to bring up a new indicator for the bumper bands I am working on. I mentioned this in the last video, but this is the one ring to rule them all, the one indicator to rule them all. And it says BB30 on it right now. I'm going to rename this just to BBAI Max Bumper Bands AI Max Plus. This indicator works on multiple time frames without changing a single setting, and you can optimize it quite a bit more on any time frame. So this is just a very quick strategy with almost no optimization. It's the indicator itself, but it doesn't have any filtering on it currently. And in the skeleton key, I'm just using the BBWP right now as a super simple filtering metric for slope. Slope has to be negative or flat, but besides that, no other settings. So it's literally just enter signal and exit signal, which means it closes below or closes above the band, and then some very basic risk right here. So that's all that's going on. And those settings work kind of across the board. So this is the same exact settings on the 1 hour time frame since 2015. You know, obviously the equity curve is a bit bumpy, and it would be nice to smooth that out, especially during the bear market here. But there's plenty of trades to work with, and so with a bit of optimization, it definitely can be smoothed out a good bit. There's the 1 hour, the 2 hour time frame, again, super bumpy over bearish time frames, and the P&L could definitely be improved, but pretty great. 4 hour time frame, also super nice up and to the right. Again, these settings are very unoptimized and the exact same settings for every time frame. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on just getting the bands where they work on any time frame, and then just adjusting a few settings here and there, really optimize those. So for lifetime members and subscribers to the bumper bands Gold and Complete tier, you will have access to this indicator in the next month or so whenever I get it finished. Things take time, but hopefully I will have it finished in the next month. So, all right, I'm going to leave this video off there. Yeah, hope you all stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.